I'm ready to get started fabricating that little support tab here for the upper radiator hose. And right here, I've gone ahead and installed a longer length of new emissions line, PCV line, little piece of rubber tubing. So work on that little bracket down there. And right here is my new little fitting for the PCV line. It's 5/16 barb fitting here, 1/8 inch MPT here. And I went with this little 90-degree fitting because what I think I want to do is try and mount this discreetly. So I'm probably going to go right underneath the tube here, real close to the throttle body. I'm pretty sure that's where I want to do it. So what I need to do, this tubing is I think 18 gauge or even maybe 20 gauge. So that's not nearly enough thickness to cut threads for this new little brass fitting. So let me go over to the bench and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So here's the little brass fitting that I just showed you. This is the material that I'm actually going to use to make a little bung that I'm going to weld to that intake tube. Like I said, that tubing is only about an 18 to 20 gauge wall thickness, so that's not enough to cut threads into. And I do have a little 1/8 inch tap. So I'm going to be using this to tap out the inside diameter of this tubing. This is a roughly 5/8 outside diameter DOM tubing with a little short of a 3/8 inch inside diameter. So it's nearly perfect for this 1/8 inch MPT tap. So really all I need is a short little section about a 1/2 inch long. But I'm going to go ahead and tap this out, this piece. I'm not going to tap the whole 15-16 inches of this, just, you know, as much as I need, but it's easy. It's difficult to clamp up and tap a short little 1/2 inch bung like this. So I'm just going to leave it long, clamp it up in the vise, run the tap through, and then we'll have our bung that we just thread our fitting into. Like I said, weld it to the intake tube, and this part of the project will be finished. Okay, so we got the threads cut in this piece of DOM tubing here. Let's just do a quick test fit on our fitting. Oh yeah, it runs up nice and tight, and of course for final installation I will be putting some Teflon tape on there. So this part's just about finished. I still need to cut that off, but I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start making that little bracket that I need to support that upper radiator hose. So this is just some 16 gauge hot rolled steel, and I'll be cutting this up and bending it to make that little bracket. Before I start cutting this out, I wanted to get the mill scale off of this piece of steel. All this gray substance that you see on a lot of steel, it's called mill scale. And since the tubing didn't have mill scale on it, and then I obviously ground the weld smooth and polished it out with the sander, I wanted this piece to have the same look. So I've gone ahead and removed the mill scale from both sides where I'm going to be cutting. The piece I'm going to cut is about 1 inch wide and about 4 inches long. So here's the little bracket. This hole right here in the bottom, that's where that little Christmas tree plug is going to come through. These two holes on the top, I'm going to be putting some rosette welds in these holes, or more commonly referred to as plug welds. So let me get this fitted and marked, and then we'll weld it on.